and welcome to my channel. This is the first video that I'll be posting. So since this is new, I'll introduce myself. My name is Miranda. I am 27 years old and I'm beginning a weight loss journey through a program called Optavia. So this program, I won't go super into detail unless you want more detail. I can do a video on that as well. I'll give you the overview of it so that you have an idea of what I'm doing. So Optavia gives you all of your food for a month, and it gives you 5 feelings for each day, and those feelings are roughly 100 calories each. So it gives you your breakfast, and then so you eat 30 minutes after you wake up, and then you're supposed to eat every 2.5 hours throughout your day. And then you are in charge of one meal a day, which is your supper, and it's called a lean green. And it gives you recipes for all of that on the Optavia app. And so you can do ones that are 30 minutes or less. They have crock pot ones. They have all kinds of stuff. But it gives you what you need and what you should be eating to be successful. So you're eating about 1,000 calories a day, which I know sounds like you're going to die and you're going to be hungry all the time. If you're anything like me, you ate far more calories than that for a lot of your life. But you get over that hunger very quickly. So when I started, I was 311 pounds. I am 12 days into this program and I am 304. It's tough to say that weight out loud. Nobody likes to give away their secrets of how much they weigh, especially women. But I think it's important that we just be open and honest and not feel that shame of what we are dealing with. So I'm just going to say it. Everybody in the world, whoever watches this video, is going to know how much I weighed at my heaviest, because that is 100% my heaviest. So my start date for this program was Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. And it is currently April 2nd, 2023. So like I said, I'm 27. I have tried so many different things throughout my life. I've tried juicing. I've tried going vegetarian. I've tried going vegan. I've tried the whole kit and caboodle. I've tried the Slim Fast stuff. I've tried everything. I have had some success with other programs doing things, but never anything long lasting. I've always gone back to the old ways of what I used to do, how much I used to eat, and here I am at 27, 311 pounds. So it didn't work out great. A lot of my eating habits come from the fact that I'm an emotional eater. So absolutely not an excuse. It's 0% an excuse, but it is a real thing. And those emotional eating urges come from things that you haven't dealt with. I myself have had things in my life. I won't go into super detail because boo, who wants to hear about it? This is supposed to be happy. So I've dealt with things, life has dealt me a few things here and there in my short time. And it's taken a toll on me, and the way that I cope with a lot of that was just eating. So obviously not very healthy, but I've done a lot of personal work in the last 5 years to, forgive and move on and work through those things within myself as to why I eat when I'm angry. Why am I eating when I'm sad? Why am I eating when I've had a hard day and I'm stressed out? Does that help me? It doesn't help me. It doesn't do anything for me. It just helps me gain weight. And then I feel worse about myself. So that's how I've gotten to where I am. I allowed my emotions to dictate what I ate, when I ate it, how much of it I ate. Portions has been a huge thing for me. I am very poor at portion control, and that is one thing that this program does for you. It gives you the portions that you need, and nothing more or less is what you eat. You eat that particular fueling is what it's called, because you're retraining your body to eat only what it needs instead of excess. And so the other cool thing that comes with this program is the books that explain to you how to lead a healthier life, how to be healthy once you're done with this program, once you've met your goal weight, how to be successful afterwards. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still in the way beginning stages, so I'm not really even all the way to understanding how all of that looks, and I'm not even going to think about it because I'm not there yet. I'm going to focus on where I'm at now. So I want to talk about my whys. Why did I start this program? So I have my little list here. Can't really see it very well, The sun is coming through my window, which I'm happy about because we haven't had much sun in a long time. I live way up in North Dakota, and it's been winter for what feels like a year. So I'm not going to complain about the sun. So my why. There are a few whys that I have on my list. The first one is health. My health is important to me. I know it doesn't look like it. Allowing myself to get to this weight, it doesn't seem like health would be important to me, but it is important. I believe that leading a healthy life is super important because you have family. Eventually, I'll have kids and I'll have a family of my own. So that's why, number one, I wanted to do this. I wanted to be healthy again. Diabetes runs in my family. I don't want to worry about, am I going to be a diabetic? Am I going to have to worry about being on insulin? I don't want to be an insulin-dependent diabetic. I don't want to worry about those things. I want to be able to lead a healthy life of carefree fun. Which sounds really selfish, but you know what? That's kind of what this journey is. It's being selfish. Being so selfish that you put yourself first. So selfish that you put yourself above everything else. And you put yourself first for once. And so it feels hard sometimes to be that selfish because I'm the opposite of that. A lot of the people that know me know that I'm not a very selfish person. I have a very much servant's heart, and so I do what I can to help others, but that also can put me in positions where I'm putting others' needs before my own. So that's another thing that I had to work through was it's okay to put me first too. It's okay to say, you know what? I'm doing this for me, and this is my time, and I'm not going to let anybody else into that time right now. And that feels bad. But the people that love you, the people that want what's best for you, those people are going to be there for you, and it's going to be okay that you're making yourself a priority. They're going to be happy that you're making yourself a priority because they want you to live a happy life, a healthy life, and they want what's best for you in the long term, not just what's best for them and what they can get from you. The next one I have on my list is how I feel about myself. This is a huge one. Anybody who has been obese or morbidly obese like I am understands that once you get to a certain size, you begin to feel uncomfortable with how you look, with how, people might perceive you, things like that. And maybe some of those things are a little more prominent for me just because of my personality type. Maybe for other people it's not a big deal. But I personally don't like how I feel about myself at this size. So that was another huge one. I've had a lot of good friends say, you should just love yourself at whatever size. And they're absolutely right. You should love yourself at whatever size. And I do love myself, but I love myself enough to do something different. To give myself my health back, my carefree feelings back, being able to just do whatever and not worry about, am I going to look fat when I do this? I just want to live my life the way that I used to when I was younger and not have to worry about, is my gut hanging out? Do my arms jiggle when I do this? Things like that. The next one I have on my list is to prepare for my future. So there's a lot of things in my future that I want to prepare for. The first of which is a husband. I am single, and I've been single for a while. I've dated here and there, and nothing has been what I'm looking for. And I feel like this is my last hurdle within myself that I need to overcome before that forever person comes along. Before the person that God has for me finds me, or I find them, one way or the other. Before we meet, before it's our time. I feel like this is the last thing that I need to do for myself to be ready for that. And it's almost like that boss that you have to beat at the end of a video game so that you win the game. It feels like that. This feels like that one last hurdle that I need to do for myself to be ready for that. And with that, once you're married and you're with somebody, you'll have kids. I'll have kids. Some people might not, but I will. And I want to be ready to have children. I want to have healthy pregnancies. I want to be able to run around with my kids. I want to be able to do all of those things in my future. And I know that's years down the road, but I want to be ready for that. I want to be prepared for that. And I want to be healthy for that. My goal in life is to live on a farm and have lots of animals, and that's a very active lifestyle. That's something that you need to be fit for, ready to rock and roll all the time, hauling stuff around the farm, doing the work of cleaning out the stalls and XYZ, you name it. You need to be able to be physically fit to do those things. And I want to be prepared for that because that's going to be the next step in my life. Whatever else, man, childs, all the children, all those things, I said childs, all of those things will come when they come. But regardless, I will be on a farm and I will be having animals. And so that feels like the next step for me. And I want to be ready for that. Work is a physically demanding thing for me. I work 10-hour days. Some weeks I work 58 hours a week. So I'm on my feet a lot. I'm running around. I'm carrying parts. I'm helping assemble here and there. I need to be ready for those things. And I want to be able to do those things with ease and without embarrassment. Not feeling like, somebody's looking at me because look at this fat lady trying to crawl underneath the frame to do work on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel that. I want to be able to crawl underneath a frame, do what I need to do, and not worry about people thinking, oh, geez, she's going to get stuck in there or something crazy like that. And again, that's probably just a me thing. That's probably just things that I think. Whether that's going on in anybody's brain or not, I don't know. But I don't want to have that in my head. I want to be able to just do it and not worry about it. And these next two go hand in hand. I have traveling and pictures. So traveling is a huge thing. I love traveling. I just don't like worrying about, am I going to be uncomfortable in this seat? Am I going to fit in this seat in the airplane? And if I do fit, am I going to make the people around me uncomfortable because I'm too big? That's just the straight facts of it. I'm too big. Am I going to make people around me uncomfortable? Am I going to be in their way? Pushing into their space. They paid for that seat. They should get all their space. I shouldn't be in their way. And then, following that up with, am I going to need a seatbelt extender? I haven't needed one, but am I going to need one? Have I gained so much weight that I might? You never know. It's all those things that you think about that if I were my normal size that I should be for a healthy body, I wouldn't worry about that. And then the last one is pictures. Pictures goes with traveling. When I'm crawling around, doing things, taking hikes, and I want to take pictures, I don't want to look at my picture and think, man, holy cow, I look like a whale. I don't want to think that. I want to look at that picture and say, man, we made some great memories. I love this picture. I can't wait to hang it up in my house. And as you can see behind me, I have all my pictures from all my adventures. Even if they're just family get-togethers, I love pictures, and I think that comes from my mom because my mom is a big picture taker. She was a photographer for a while as well, and so I want to take pictures and look good in those pictures and love those pictures and be excited to share those pictures and not think, oh man, did I stand in a way that now my gut looks huge or my butt looks big or my arms look fat? I don't want to worry about that. I want to take a picture and look good in the picture no matter what. And that's a long way down the road. It's going to take me time to get there, but those are the reasons that I'm doing this. This is why I'm working on fixing me and trimming myself so that I'm not, 3 people instead of 1. And so another why I have is self-confidence. I'm already a pretty confident person, even though I'm pretty much morbidly obese, I think is my category that I fall in now. I still have a lot of confidence, because I kind of have I don't give a attitude about a lot of things when it comes to society and people judging and whatever. I don't care. You can think what you want, you can look, you can do whatever. I'm still going to live my life because I shouldn't shut myself in and not do things because I'm fat. I'm still going to go live life and have fun and make memories and be with my family. The only difference is there's still that little nagging piece in the back of your mind where you wish you weren't the size you were because you have to hold yourself back from doing things because you don't want to look stupid. You don't want to look fat. And so that follows into the few bullet points that I have underneath this one. The first one being how I look when I do things. So this is at work as well. I have meetings at work that I have to go to. I'll leave early to get to the meeting early so that I have a minute to sit and breathe hard so that I'm not breathing hard in front of people. And if I can't leave early and get to the meeting early, I'll take the elevator because it's embarrassing. I'm 27. I shouldn't be breathing heavy. And so it's just things like that you do, that you accommodate what you've done to yourself. So the next one I have is how my clothes fit. I worry a lot about how my things fit me, how I look in them, am I wearing the right thing? And then the next one has to do with clothing as well. I want to be able to buy and wear things that I like. There's a lot of things that I can't wear because of how big I am. Because some things just don't look good on fat people. That's just the way that it goes. You know, we don't look good in patterns. We don't look good in floral. We don't look good in polka dots and stripes and all those things. And there's a whole big push now of this body positivity stuff, and it's fine. But at the same time, we shouldn't kid ourselves and say that it's healthy or that this is the best I have, because it's not. This is not the best that I have. This is not the best me that there could be. And to put a Band-Aid on it, or to put, blinders on and say, I'm perfect the way I am, everybody should just love me. That's not true. That's not reality. Reality is, I have gained so much weight that I've ostracized myself from opportunities, from, potential relationships, being able to wear things that I want to wear, being able to do things that I want to do. When I go to the fair in the summertime, it's usually in July, there's rides that I can't ride because I don't fit. And that's just a fact. I've done that to myself. It's not the fair's fault that their ride doesn't fit me. They have to be able to keep people safe, and I don't fit that requirement. So to think that society should bend to us and just accommodate everything for us because we want to be unhealthy isn't realistic. And I don't want to fall into that trap of, well, the restaurant should just have bigger seating for fat people. It's not inclusive that they don't. Well, most people aren't as big as I am. Most people aren't bigger than me. So to think that a restaurant should get specialized seating, everywhere should have specialized seating for fat people, just doesn't make sense. They shouldn't conform to the fitting of a minority group. Doesn't make sense. If anybody runs a business and knows anything about businesses, you don't want to fit to a minority group. You want to fit to the majority. That's how you have a successful business. And so, less on that, because that's not what we're talking about, but it's just important to me that I love myself now, but I also love myself enough to change the things that I'm doing that are destructive, because that's what this is. This is 100% destructive for me and where I'm going and what I want for my life. It's going to be really hard to ride a horse at 311 pounds because my center of gravity isn't great. Being able to balance myself in a saddle, not great. I've ridden at this weight, well, close to this weight, and I've ridden at a much less weight, and riding at a less weight is way, way better and way safer and way more comfortable. You feel more in control of your body at a less weight. I want to be able to do those things. I want to be able to run around and do whatever I want. I want to be able to go on hikes and not worry about being out of breath or how far it is or if I'm going to get tired. And I haven't run into those things, but I don't want to run into those things. I'm still pretty active for my weight. I can do pretty much everything. I get out of breath, obviously, but there isn't anything that I can't do yet. And I don't want to get to a point where there are things that I can't do, because that's where I'm heading. If I were to continue on the trajectory that I'm on right now, I would get there where I can't do things. And I don't ever want that for myself. I'm too young. I have too much to do. I have too much life ahead of me to allow myself to do that. And so I want to talk about how I felt before I started this program, just like how my body felt, and in my mind how my mind felt. So the first thing I have on my list is I was very sluggish, which is super true. I just was really low energy all the time. And the next one I have on here is I was tired all the time. I was never not tired. It didn't matter how much sleep I got. I was always tired. And it was to the point where I would come home, eat supper after work, and I would fall asleep on the couch probably 10 minutes later. And that's a sugar issue. And it's super unhealthy. It's just not, you're not meant to operate that way. And so the next one is self-conscious, which I've talked a little bit about. I still am, but it's less and less as I lose weight. Self-conscious in everything, in walking, doing things, going places. I used to do a lot of public speaking. I did a lot of training of new hires at my job. And so I would stand in front of people all the time, and I always felt like I needed to cover up because I know that I'm fat. And so I wanted to cover it. Not that that helps, but it helps mentally, I guess, which is just putting a Band-Aid on the situation. All you're doing is covering it instead of fixing it. The next one is embarrassed. Kind of goes hand in hand. So I felt very embarrassed with how I looked, what I've done to myself, just embarrassed in general of the physical state that I'm in because I shouldn't be here. And the last one is disappointed. Very disappointed in the fact that I did this to myself, that I allowed myself to get this bad, because I know that I'm better than this. I know that I should have never allowed this to happen, but I did. And then how I feel now. So how I feel now is I feel energized. I feel hopeful. I feel so hopeful. I feel so hopeful for my future. I'm excited for my future now. And I think that has to do a lot with the energy that I have now. I have so much energy, like to the point that I'm annoying my family. As a kid, I had the same thing where I was like so hyper that my mom would tell me to go outside and play and not come back till I was tired, because I'm just so incessantly like I need to go do something and like spazzed out. And now I'm back there. Like I haven't been that way since I was probably 12 or younger. And I'm like back to being annoyingly energetic. And so that comes into where I'm excited. I'm excited to start working out, to start doing more things outside. I want to run some 5Ks in this coming spring and summer. We'll see if I get there. The plan is to do that. I'm really excited to start lifting. I want to, sculpt and tone my body. I want to look built, muscly. That's my goal. I don't want to be skinny. I want to be strong. That's my goal. And I'll show you what I look like at the end of this video, which again isn't super easy, but I'm going to do it because why not? It's how I look. So if you were to see me out in public, this is what you would see. And then the last two, I should say, I feel proud because I'm doing this. I'm doing it. And I'm very proud of that. And the last one I have is I'm determined. There is nothing that I won't do to make this work. I will give anything to make this work, to get me back. I don't care what it takes. I will do it. And I will do it until I feel and look the way that I want. And I know that there's going to be people that say, well, it's not all about looks. It's not all... Absolutely. It's not all about looks. And I don't think that we should go through life basing everything on looks. I think personality is super, super important. And with that being said, I want my personality to match how I look. I want my personality to match me as I am. Not, oh, well, she's got a great personality, but... I don't want that. I want my whole body to match. I want everything internally, externally, everything to match. And right now it doesn't match. The me on the inside doesn't get to be me on the outside because of all the things that I do personally that hold me back, because I'm self-conscious, because I have, some self-confidence issues. I'm still pretty confident, but there's still things that I don't do because look at me. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that it's going to be on this channel, is a lot of raw, harsh truth that maybe people don't say. So maybe it's shocking for you. Maybe it seems, not good to you. But I'm a really upfront kind of person. So if that's not your jam, this probably won't be your channel that you'll enjoy. But if you're looking for raw, real, truthful, honest, I'm your girl. So The next thing I'm going to do is tell you how I got here. So I have a friend who used to be my youth pastor. His name's Scott. And I've seen his posts on Facebook. He did the same program and lost a good bit of weight and looks great. And so he posted another lady that was roughly my size, and she lost 100 pounds in 9 months. And I finally decided within myself that I would reach out, because I'd thought about it for probably 2 years and I just never did because I wasn't ready yet. But I finally was ready. I was so sick and tired of myself and my own BS that I wanted something. I needed something to grab onto, to fix myself. And I thought for a second that if she could lose 100 pounds in 9 months, maybe I could too. Maybe I could lose that much weight and be smaller, and it won't take me years and years to get there. It gave me hope, and I needed hope because I'd lost hope that I was ever going to lose weight, that I was ever going to get to a place where I finally did it, and I lost the weight, and I was healthy, and I could live my life again. And so I reached out and we talked, and I finally just pulled the trigger. And I wouldn't have pulled the trigger if it wouldn't have been for my mom, because my mom was doing it with me. And the fact that I have someone doing it with me, it gives this sort of comfort to know that someone's doing it and you're doing it, and that you can, talk to each other about those things as you're doing it, as you're struggling. And so Scott's my coach, and he's a great coach. I can ask him questions all day. I can, say, hey, I'm really struggling today. What can I do? And then I get advice back immediately. And so it's really nice to just have that too. And he encourages me to live out loud. So here I am living out loud, maybe a little louder than he had anticipated, but he encourages me to post on Facebook and talk about what I'm doing, because that helps me stay accountable too. And I need that accountability. And I think that's a huge part of this, is staying accountable. So part of why I'm doing these videos is accountability for myself, and just something to look back on. If I need to come back and say, why am I doing this, man? I'm so tired. I'm sick and tired of it. I don't want to do it. Because I have those days too. I can come back and I can watch this video and say, this is why you're doing it. And you're telling yourself why you're doing it. So even if nobody else watches this video, I'll have it still. So that's how I got started. If I can figure out the editing, I will add in the picture of the lady that I saw that sparked it all. So now I will show you what I look like now, so you can get an idea. And then as I go on, I'll continue to give updates. So this is me now. That's me. So, now you know. And this is my first video, so if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, hopefully the rest of them are going to be short, but I had to kind of do a quick get everyone up to speed. So if you enjoyed it, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and there will hopefully be one every week from here on out. So wish me luck. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.